What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hey, Hanna cakes.
Welcome,
Hey,
welcome.
boo.
How you guys doing?
Yo, girl, I missed you. It's been a minute.
I know, right? I haven't seen her.
How come
for
I can't
2
catch you when I'm in Toronto?
Let's not go there.
Have your people called her people? Because that's generally how she's.
No.
right.
Have
My
your
bad.
people called her people
Yo,
to
you're not.
set up
no,
an appointment?
You're
I
not
forgot
gonna
her.
do this.
Sometimes I forget her status. You know
No,
what I mean?
no,
My
no.
bad. My
Yeah,
bad.
No.
Then know yourself.
I'm going to
Then
make an
know yourself.
appointment. My
I'm
bad.
still in my humble beginnings, okay? I still wait for you to call me whenever you're in town.
It's like that.
And
I got stories.
Someone
I
got a new
stories.
tang and then forget about our old friends.
No, it's not like that. It's not like that. I tried to holler at Hannah back in the days.
See,
And
you
she
think-
kind
you
she
think
kind of
it-
looked at me. She was like, "Come back in 3 tax brackets."
Okay.
When the way your tax situation is set up.
I'm
Yo,
glad.
Not today,
let's go back. Like
Oh,
rewind
really?
selector. First of
Oh,
all,
really?
welcome to the Hanna Cake Show. Episode number, I don't even know. I don't even know. Maybe 7, maybe 8. Yo no sé. But yeah, I have 2 beautiful guesses with me.
Stop it.
One guest. This one is
Yo, I'm a host.
she's a host. She's my
That's a K in the
she's not
building.
even a guest host. She's like my co-host at this point, you know? So let's introduce the mandem right there.
Okay, the mandem. I like
So,
that reference. Very grammatically correct. I go by Roby Hollywood.
Yeah.
A brand name like Pepsi. Friends and family call me Supreme Commander, but I never told them to do that. It's just something that naturally occurred to them. What else do you want to know, Hannah?
Well, I want to know, like, what do you do? You can put your Twitter handle to Twitter.
Okay.
Do you have a Twitter? Actually, I don't even.
Actually, I don't tweet. I don't tweet that much. Like
He has
when
an IG. He has. An
I
IG.
do have IG. At Roby Hollywood on IG.
He story the fuck up. He has a lot.
I do
stories.
story the fuck up because my life is goddamn amazing and everybody should kind of have a little.
Nigga has a
goddamn-
Porsche. Nigga
Hey,
has a
hey,
Porsche. I
listen,
just had
hey.
to say that.
Say a word you pulled up in a Porsche.
Y'all pulled up in a Porsche.
She did pull up in a
Why
Porsche.
would
She
I
did.
happen to beef? If I could just hop in a push.
Yeah. So what I do, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm involved in everything from tech to finance, you name it. I do, but my passion is entertaining. So I do stand-up comedy. I'm a writer for
actor.
film and TV. But obviously, the starving artist life is not my thing because I have an outrageous lifestyle, so that requires money to be able to handle that. So that's why I cannot be able to be on a full artist. But yeah, other than that, I'm just
That's.
that guy.
Oh, I'm glad I see you again. I haven't seen you in so long.
Shame on you.
I
girl. Shame
want
on
to
you.
tell the.
Shame on you
I
for
want to
that.
tell my
Shame
people
on you
how
for
we
that.
met.
Okay, go
Can we
ahead.
do that?
Go ahead then.
Hey, this
problem.
Go
is
ahead then.
saucy, bro.
Go ahead then.
Let's hear it.
There's this beautiful app called Tinder.
Tinder, for those who love it. Tinder.
Say a word, you swipe right.
This guy had a like. He had a.
I lift heavy things and I put them down for the purpose of fitness.
You must have had that Porsche on the profile.
Come on, wow.
Nah, he had a range.
I'm just playing.
I actually had a Range Rover at that time when we met, so that's why I was in the lesser bracket. That's why she never
My
hollered
bad,
at me.
my bad.
Now she's different. She's like, oh, he got a Porsche now. Hold on now, big fella. Hold on
I
now.
had a
Let me holla
feeling.
back.
I had a feeling he upgraded, so that's why when he
That's why she
DM'd
wanted me to go show. Like, hold on, you seem like you're glowing a little more now.
Your
player.
glow up needs to be on my show, cuz. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah,
Do tell.
but yeah, we met while we swiped right.
Yeah, that's
You know?
true. That's true. You know what's so crazy? I just realized that our first date we went to
yeah.
Young and Finch at that sushi place.
I know.
Right where the shit went down.
Yo, speaking of
Yo,
that,
that's kinda
That was,
crazy.
oh my god,
I
I got
just
so scared. And
realized that
I
now.
just thought about that today.
And it was actually around this time of the year now that I think about it. It was like,
Yeah.
what, 2 years ago?
Was it 2 years ago? It was
I
last
don't know.
year.
I feel
no?
like no, it wasn't last year. It was definitely not.
It was
last
not
year.
last year.
No, it was not.
Shit.
Yo,
It
you know
was
what's
2 years ago.
crazy? I go jogging right around that corner. Like I
Yeah.
come down on Young and Finch. I jog down Finch up to Young and then I run up all around that neighborhood. That's where I used to stay.
Shit. That
That's
is a
crazy.
this is a tragedy, and I
Yeah.
do want to say rest in peace to the fallen soldiers at this point.
Yeah.
And I just saw what was happening, and then like I was like, yo, We chilled there.
Yeah, like a couple of times.
And you don't live too far from there.
No. I used to live, or I used to have a
moved.
condo around there. Then I moved.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I didn't leave. I didn't live that far from there. Yeah.
Shit,
it's crazy.
that's so crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go to the sad stuff, so
Okay.
let's go back.
You were telling a story about how we met.
Yeah.
And you like acted some type of way.
No.
Yo, this proves my point though. Like, you could find friends on Tinder, can't you?
Yeah. But
Touche.
my
Touche.
point of being
I
on
once
Tinder.
had a debate with
Touche.
someone that you cannot have a friend on Tinder.
Of course, I have bare
Yo,
friends
I
on
made
Tinder.
bare friends on Tinder.
Bare friends.
I think the key is to be able to differentiate. Nobody goes on Tinder to make friends. It's when you drag into the friend zone that you kind of gotta do the
You ain't
math.
got no
That's what.
And you're like, okay, what am I really getting out of this? So after Hannah forcefully dragged me into the friend zone by my neck.
Okay, let me tell you why. Okay.
Oh,
Shut
you
up.
got a reason why.
Let me tell you.
I never heard it.
No.
So maybe this counts as like closure.
Shut up. Let
This
me
is closure.
And I already told you about that. So this guy on a first date. Well, our real first date was like when you invited me to that comedy.
Oh yeah. I was doing a show. Yeah.
But the restaurant was like a whole
Right.
like out of the blue like same day thing. Oh, you
yeah,
want
I
to eat?
remember
Let's
that.
go because
Yeah.
we lived in the same area.
Right.
So we went there, and so technically that was our first date.
Mm-hmm.
But so we ate, we laughed, we had a good time.
Yeah.
And this guy is like, okay, so I have a hotel. Like, can we go get a hotel?
Okay, no. Hold on. Stop. No. Hit the brakes. This is what happened.
Red
This
flag.
is what happened. I told her, I was like, hey,
Swipe
listen,
left.
my aunt was actually visiting from Africa, right? You remember that? Remember I told you that?
You said your washer was being renovated.
No. See, you don't recall. You don't recall.
It's okay. It's okay.
Do you see Hannah though? Do you see Hannah? She has so many
She's
people.
exposing you. It's
She has so
okay.
many people in
Just
her
let it go.
inbox. There is no way she can be able to keep up. Come on, do the math.
Oh,
It makes sense. It makes sense. She's getting hollered at
Touche,
on a regular,
touche.
so obviously she's not gonna be able to keep up with all the reasons and circumstances.
No, you said your house was being renovated.
no. I
Your
told
washroom
you-
was being renovated.
You came to my house.
No,
after that.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He did. He did say his aunt was there, but to me, when someone says that they have family member in their crib, it's code for I have a girl.
Okay, who hurt
So
you?
that's why I
and
was
why are you
like,
punishing me for the mistakes of other men?
I don't
Those
know.
are the
I've been
things.
chilling with too many Nigerians.
You know what?
Niger.
You know what, girl? You know better now.
And you're not too
You know
far.
better.
You're not too far. You're not too far.
No,
Stop the madness.
I'm further east. That is
Not
not the
here.
same. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. I got my papers.
Whatever. Anyways.
Logically.
Anyways,
Right.
and then so we had fun, but when we still went to that fucking hotel.
We
chilled.
Right? So
Yeah.
this one, and guess what? Was I not a gentleman? Was I not a gentleman?
He was a
I was a
gentleman.
gentleman all the way 100%. We had a great time.
But
We
you know
hung
me,
out.
like I felt, even though like we were having a good time, I'm like, yo, we're drinking, so I don't know what he's thinking, what's gonna happen. So I made plans with my cousin. My cousin came pick me up right after. I don't know. I gave you some type of excuse, right?
You did. That was
Yeah.
a terrible thing. And then you admitted that to me. But see, this is the thing to me, because
I always come clean.
No, it's true. Because to me, I have 4 sisters, right?
Yeah.
So when I go on a date with a woman, my goal always is what kind of date would I want my sister to have?
True.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like, and not only that, like we bonded on the fact that you were artistic. I was artistic too. So it was beyond, like, you know, obviously when you swipe right, you're like, well, that's
And we were
not,
funny.
That was it, right? So then I got to know you a little bit. I was like, wow, this person is actually interesting.
Yeah.
So it became more than just the physical. So,
Yeah.
because most of the time when you're on those
Yeah,
sites,
it's
that's
just
it.
like, yeah.
We all know what's up.
a ting,
But
she's a
people
ting.
like to pretend like they don't know what the real situation is,
Yeah.
right? So after I got to know you a little bit after talking to you,
Nah. There's people like me that go on Tinder looking for real love. You know what I mean? You know?
you know what though? And
I know I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
A lot of people write
For
on
real?
their profile. Yeah.
So you
A lot of people write on
Okay.
their profile
you
like
use
they're
your
looking.
Tinder
But
out of the country.
I
to
was
find
never
love?
looking for some dick. Like, come on now. I was
no,
looking
but
for
listen,
love on
listen,
Tinder.
See, listen. I would appreciate that.
I don't.
Until
Hashtag we believe you.
No, I'm serious though. Until I got
We
the memo.
believe you.
Until I got the memo that Tinder was a smashing site.
Let me ask you a
You know what I
question.
mean?
Are you like those
Fully.
girls? Are you like those girls
I
that will
haven't
take
smashed
that will take
one
those
Tinder.
pictures?
No, okay, never mind.
Wow. Are you having an awakening moment, right? Should we take a second to let you process what you're feeling? Is that what's happening? So let me ask you a question, though. You know, a lot of those girls that would take those pictures were like they're sitting on the edge of the sink and they're just showing off their booty.
That. My ass
Right?
is
No,
fat.
hold on. They would do that. They would take the picture and then they will write in the description, "Not looking for hooking up." I'm sorry.
Nah, you could follow me on Instagram. It's SAK with a Z, and you'll see what kind of pictures I take.
Right. So you understand what I'm saying, though. But like, it's confusing though because a lot of girls say that they don't want to hook up. But your pictures are saying
100%.
Fuck me in the park now.
I give that to you. Right. 100%.
Okay. So you understand where the confusion could be able to come from, right?
Okay. What does that have to do with me?
No, the reason we're talking about it is
man's cocked up his body like.
No, I found you attractive, but you know what I mean. Okay. And you know, we went out on a date, and then after a while, I got to know you. So, because usually, like to me, within 30 seconds, I know. Because look, we all know the drill, right? Yeah. Nobody's there to waste anybody's time, and so on and so forth. Because to me, I'm a passionate man. Yeah. Right. So I happen to be 6'2", I'm black, I got a little money and all this type of thing. So I do well with women. So my demands are a little bit higher. So if you cannot entertain me,
I have a question for you though. Yeah. Did you put that in the description on Tinder? 6'2"?
Oh no.
I love when men do that.
No.
You're speaking of that, they need to do that, right?
I don't have Tinder anymore. But like,
not to short shame niggas, but like, come on now.
By the way. So I met a ting on Tinder. This is a funny story. Okay. I met a ting on Tinder. I'm like, yo, this guy's a ting. You know when someone's cute and nice and super like genuine and like super into you? There must be a problem. Something must be wrong. Yeah. So I'm here swiping and I look at his pictures. I'm showing my friends. I'm like, yo, he's cute. My friends are like, yo, he's a ting. I'm like, nah, something must be wrong. I was trying to figure it out. Then I realized in his pictures, I'm like, but wait. I'm not sure how tall he is. Like, I couldn't really tell how tall he was.
Okay, excuse me. That's a height requirement at this point.
But wait. So we ended up meeting up at a bar, and the man was wearing Timberland boots, and he was still shorter than me. And then I was like, man, no.
But he was fine, though.
Man, no.
He was cute.
I think if you're that short, you need to state it on your profile. Yeah. That's not fair.
Unless you're a Jewish banker.
Especially if you see clearly I'm not your height. You know what I mean? You have to state your size.
But ladies, I'm gonna tell you
something.
Am I
right or am I wrong?
Yo, you're right. You're right. Because I would have been pissed. You know, I'm like 5'8", 5'9". I don't want to like go on a blind date. Well, not a blind date, but on Tinder date. Mine is 5'2", 5'5".
Let me ask you a question. Why is height such a big importance for women?
Because it's awkward. Like I don't want to.
No, but do you know why?
It's bad for my back. It's bad for my back.
I'm not attracted to a short guy.
But why are you not?
No offense.
Do you know why
everybody
you're not?
has.
I want to look up to you.
But do you know why you're not?
I know why I'm not.
Why not?
Because I feel safe with the taller man. And
why do you feel safe?
Have you had?
Evolution.
Could you tell me why? Are you Mr. Therapist? You seem like you know.
No, I'm not a therapist.
But I'm just saying. It seems like you know.
Because the key is to understanding why we want the things that we want. So the reason why you're attracted to tall men, because the example of beauty was set by evolution, right? The reason why it was set by evolution is because taller, stronger men.
Put your mouth on the mic. Put your mouth.
Sorry. Taller, stronger men tended to be more likely to be able to provide for you and your seed because 10,000, like people don't understand, right? As humans, we think we're special, right? Because we got thumbs and the internet and suddenly we think that we're special, but that's not true. We're still animals, still going through evolution. So evolution has programmed you now to look for men who are taller and more physically adept because 10,000 years ago, this thing that runs your life, your hybrid brain, was set up to be able to look for that because it was a more inclined way to be able to provide for you and your seed. A stronger and bigger man could be able to go out and hunt and feed you and your seed.
And protect you.
And protect you
kids,
as
right?
well, right? Yeah. But this is my theory. My theory is 200 years from now, that whole thing is going to change. The new standard for beauty when it comes to men is going to be the short, balding, Jewish guy who's running a bank, because that is the new
It's already starting. It's already starting.
Yeah,
already
but
has
that's
started.
that doesn't apply
No,
to me.
not to you, not to you. But I'm talking
yeah.
about 250 years down the road.
Yeah, I hear you.
But
That-
see,
that
when you
makes
when
sense
you
for
understand that though, when you meet a shorter man, when you understand that, you're able to give him a chance, because there may be, because
he
right
has
now we
money
don't,
in his bank account.
No, not only that. Right now we don't live in a world where you need a man to protect you from wildebeests. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't need that right now. But evolutionarily speaking, you're pre-programmed to want that.
But I still believe that I want a man that's bigger than me in case someone wants to come and, like, suppose someone runs up on the fucking 5-foot man and I have to back him up, guy, and then I get knocked in my face.
In the future, I've seen tall guys get
we're gonna be
knocked
scared
the
of
fuck
robots.
out.
You're right. But I'm just not attracted.
You're not, but you have to understand why you're not. Because
You
once
know,
you
like
understand why
how
you're not,
men
then you're
fat
able to
shame?
deal with it in accordance, right? Because most of the time people say, like, I'm attracted to that person, that's it. That's what my nature is, right? But when you understand why, that's
okay, I have
happening,
another reasoning for why I'm not attracted to short men. Suppose your guys are lying in the bed, and like I'm
You're
trying
the
to
same
lie on
size
him.
on the bed.
Nah.
You're the same
I'm lying
size.
on the man's chest, and my feet are past his, and his feet are dangling on mine, guy. Like.
Okay, let me give you an example. If Tom Cruise walked up to you right now, and he's like, hey,
sorry.
Fuck no.
Short men, I'm sorry.
Maybe Kevin Hart.
There's a lot of short
let's say
things
Kevin
out
Hart,
there
right?
too,
Let's say Kevin Hart wasn't married, and he sees you in a club. He's doing a show in Toronto. He's not married,
Not my
and he
type.
walks up to you, and he's like,
Not
hey,
my type.
No.
girl, do you
my
see the look on my
type.
face?
No.
Listen,
no.
540
You don't have faith in women.
You don't
it's
have
not
faith
that.
in
It's
women.
not that. It's not I don't have faith in women.
like-
I understand human nature.
Yeah.
$230 million is everybody's type. Do you understand what I'm
Bro.
saying? It's everybody's type. It doesn't matter how short, because see, this is the thing.
You said
that's
200
not me.
million?
You could talk to another
$230
girl.
million.
You can talk to another girl, but you
Anytime.
can't talk to me. Kevin Hart walks in here, tries to chop me. That doesn't mean anything to me. Drake walks in here, disrespects me, and tries to chop me.
No,
That doesn't mean
not disrespects
anything
you.
to me.
Let's say the man
No,
is
but I'm just
polite.
trying to
He
show
walks
you,
up to you.
money doesn't mean anything to me. So the man is short.
You got the wrong
He's
light
not
skin
my
girl.
type.
You got the
I'm
wrong light
sorry,
skin girl.
bro.
You got the
I'm
wrong
sorry.
light skin girl.
No,
She ain't about that. She ain't about
it's
that.
not a question of having the wrong light skin girl. She obviously is immune to evolution, which is a whole entire different conversation at this point, because she's saying that she's
No,
completely
she just
immune.
likes who she likes. That's it. Right?
There you
Fair
go.
enough. Okay, I guess we'll leave it at that.
There's a
type.
certain type
I have
of
my
guy
type.
that can make her she is attracted to it instantly, right? Just like me.
But see, attraction is not a question of hazard. That's the thing. It's people think that. No, it's true. It's true.
I love your
Attraction.
choice of words.
No, it's true. Attraction is not a question of hazard or pulling a number out of a hat.
Yeah.
There is a reason why you are attracted to what you're attracted to.
Yeah, there's the male figure in your life,
Right.
your father or
Right.
whatever, someone that provided for you. That's unconscious, right?
Right.
And you get that could attract you to a certain type of man.
Right.
But it's like you're trying to say money.
No, it's
Is
not
a
that I'm
major-
saying that
major
money is
factor
not
as well.
everything, right? Because see, everything in life is all about nature and nurture, right?
Yeah.
Nature is your evolutionary standpoint. A lot of your traits, whether it be physical or mental, are inherited in a genetic standpoint. So that
Okay.
means they were given to you by your parents, and then the rest is nurture, meaning your environment. So let's say you live in an environment where tall men are the standard. Right, you tend to be more attracted to those type of men because it's that mix of nature and nurture, right? So if in your environment, which is the fact, because in the world that we live in, you know, if the taller you are, the more muscular you are, the more attractive you are on the longer plane. So if that's what's been put forward as the model of attraction, you will tend to be attracted to that. But when you understand that, because this is the thing though, the man that, because you will never know what it is like to be with the man that God has put here for you if you've never been with the one that he hasn't. Right?
Okay, Dr.
Right?
Phil, let's go back to like
No, but I hear what you're saying 100%.
But see, what I'm
There's a
saying
big
is
bracket
like
here.
the man that God has put here for you could be 5'6",
Yeah.
but because you have the standard that is embedded in you, you will never give him a chance when you meet him because you've already dealt the cards before even the game starts.
If God knows me, he's not going to set me up with a 5'6" man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if he has my back, he's going to get me a 6'5", nigga.
You know what I like, Jesus. What the hell? Who the hell is this? Jesus. You fucking up.
This nigga's so short, he's closer to hell. Like, what the fuck?
Why is he so close to the center of gravity? This nigga sweats in the winter. I don't understand it.
Yo, anyways, that was crazy.
Yeah, that's some deep shit.
Yeah, I know, that's some deep shit. But yeah, going back to the Tinder. But anyways, we had fun that first time. And then you invited me to your...
It was a showcase. It was an acting showcase.
Acting showcase.
Yeah.
This guy invites me there, and then he invites another gal.
Oh yeah.
Another Tinder thing.
No. This girl used to work for me in the past. I did explain that to you. You made a big deal out of it.
You didn't explain that to me.
Whoa, wait. Were you catching feelings?
No, but like
feelings involved?
No.
A little bit. You were a little upset.
No, I was not a little upset. I mean, like that's why you got into the friend zone.
We still had a great night.
We went out to the of course. Yeah. I'm just explaining why you opened the door to the friend zone at this point, you know? Because you're gonna bring your date and with a girl that you fucking with.
Well,
and
I wasn't fucking with her. She honestly
were you planning to do like a threesome or something?
No. I'm a baptized
kinky
man.
Because it was a white girl. So like, I'm like, yo.
That was the problem. So let's address that for what it really was. What you were really upset about was the fact that she was a white girl. So this is what happened.
No. Don't tell my listeners that I have a problem with white girl. I got bare white bitches, yo. It's not the man.
It sounds like it.
No.
This is what happened. So I invited her to the showcase. Then the day of the showcase, I got a call from one of my friends in Vancouver. And she's like, hey, listen, I'm coming down to the city. The person that I was supposed to stay with kind of flopped. Do you mind if I stay at your place for the weekend? So this girl, like, I knew her for a long time. She made me a lot of money working for me as a trader a long time ago. So obviously I owe her the favor. So I'm like, okay, come through.
100.
So if I wanted to pull some shit, I would have called you and been like, hey, the show is canceled, da. So we knew what's up. But let me tell you what upset me about Hanna.
You forget
that Khaled, my best friend, was there. So Hanna finds it very appropriate. He did, but you know what though? You all seem to be getting close.
No.
Hey, listen, now that we're bringing it up,
I can't help it if guys fuck with me. Like I can't. I have a nice personality. Right? I'm lit. You know. Your friend approached me.
You are definitely lit.
Did
there was no denying that. But you knew,
I didn't smash though. I didn't smash though.
That's right. You did not. You know what? Have a cookie.
Let's put that on the record.
Have a cookie.
I did not smash.
Have a blue ribbon.
I didn't smash the homie. I ain't smashed the homie. But you forgot that part where you smashed the white girl.
Okay, listen. This is what happened though, Hanna. You kind of caught a little bit of an attitude at that time, and you were like not talking to me.
So you're trying to say it was her fault why you smashed the white girl?
No. Listen, fault and all these type of things, that's a concept created by the white man to bring us down.
Mans are jokes.
Because we were all having a good time.
You can never blame anyone for anything. Because see, that's how life works. Because see, this is the thing.
But that's where you started. You're like,
I never
having a little attitude, and the white girl was right in my bed. So what do you think's gonna happen?
When you use words like fault, it means that you somehow regret or sometimes felt
my bad.
Let me
take out the fault. She steered you in that direction.
That's not true. Because let me tell you something. Nobody makes anybody do anything.
You got curved all the way to her pussy?
No, this is what happened. Obviously,
I have difficulty swallowing this, so watch what you say, fam.
That's what she said.
If I said, I was gonna say, if I said that's what she said.
I'm drinking brandy.
Hashtag feminism.
Neat.
Hashtag feminism. Hashtag me too. All these great hashtags. But see, this is the thing. Like, I don't believe that anybody makes anybody do anything. Because see, I did the math. Because see, at 3 o'clock in the morning, when it gets to 3 o'clock in the morning and people have been drinking and partying and all these type of things, and you get to that point where you have to make an executive decision, you weigh, because in economics they call it weighing risk versus benefit.
I love
So Cakes wasn't gonna smash.
What was the risk?
She for sure gonna smash.
Hannah all night long has been giving me the side eye. She's getting close to my best friend. So obviously I see the odds.
Never gave him that side eye. I never gave him that side eye. We had a good time.
We had a good time.
I just had a vibe where I'm not smashing vibe. You know, I was just a friendly vibe.
So there you go. So obviously a man has.
But then I explained to you, I'm like, yo, come on, and you already told me that you had a thing with the girl.
No.
You said that way before. It's like, yeah, I mean, her used to deal.
As an equal opportunity employer,
you never said nothing about business.
Of course. No. Like, as an equal opportunity employer.
You had a different transaction.
Yo, where'd you find this guy? He's killing me, bro.
Right? As an equal opportunity employer, the Christian thing to do was to obviously sleep with her. But, right?
Okay, Weinstein, you need to chill.
No. But like, regardless of anything, though, I did not.
I'm calling you Roby Weinstein from now on.
She honestly showed up to the show as a question of circumstances. So therefore, I was a victim of circumstances. But you did not try to dig deep.
No, you brought her as a like plan B, but the plan B was chilling with plan A, just in case plan A was not like with that shit, you know?
No. But see, first of all,
that means you weren't sure about Hannah. You're like, yo,
sure.
She seems really nice.
I don't know. I didn't give that easy vibe. Like, you know.
Hanna and I had chilled 3 times before. Cause see, this is the thing.
2 times.
No. Was it before that? Was it 2 times?
2 times.
Okay.
2 times.
2 times.
2 times.
2 times plus 1. 2 plus 2 is 4 minus 1 is 3 plus.
Chilling till like after midnight does not count for a second day.
Yes. But you know what though? Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, I actually appreciate it. Because see, to me, I'm one of those men who, believe it or not, I know sometimes when I say this, it comes off as pompous and all these type of things, but I do fairly well with women. But see, this is the one thing that I always look for. I'm a sucker for pillow talk. And the reason why I really liked you is because pillow talk is my drug. That's my drug. If you cannot entertain me after the sex, there is 2 things that happen. Excuse me, hi. There is
Uber?
There's a bus token and
a bus token
and a box of Cheerios.
Disrespectful.
There's a box of Cheerios.
See, that's why my pum pum knew. I'm kidding. She was not about that.
I'm joking, but the point that I'm trying to get across is if you cannot stimulate me mentally, then there is nothing beyond the sex. And if there's nothing beyond the sex, I tend to come off as rude.
Yeah.
And with you, I was like, holy fuck, like this girl is cool as shit. You are a writer, and I'm a writer, and there's all these kind of things. And like, you weren't boring, which by the way, most women are. Hey, listen, I have 4 sisters and a mom. I love women to death, but let me tell you something. Hey, most of them are not as entertaining as you think. So when you find that person that kind of stimulates you mentally, you were like, oh my God, like this is great. So I wasn't in a rush, but at the same time, I have needs that have to be looked after. So I knew.
Let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson. If you were actually trying to hook up with her, like on a serious tip, this is a lesson to you for the future. Be patient. If you would have just been patient that night, not fuck with the white girl, and been like,
fuck with her the next day. Like,
you know what I mean? Wait. She might have been your ting right. She might be your girl right now.
You know what?
This is just a life lesson.
You know what? This is
that
unfair.
I see.
This is unfair towards.
He found his own key to the friend zone at this point,
right? He's like, okay, I'm gonna take it right now. I'm gonna take my key.
The second time we hung out,
knock. Open. Okay, I'm here. You just have to give him a look.
Let me tell you something. The second time we hung out, I actually wanted to show her how far out of my way I was willing to go for her. I made you breakfast.
But you're not
I called you over like, hey, can I make you breakfast?
Oh, so that's a panty dropper.
No, it's not that. But see, what I'm trying to say though, it's like, very unfair towards men.
That was the 3rd time.
No, that was the second time.
No, the second time was with the girl.
The 3rd time was...
The second time we chilled.
I think you need to work on your patience.
When you brought me to the showcase.
Right.
Then we met with Khalid.
Yeah.
And then we chilled like until like X in the morning.
Right.
And then the next day that we chilled again, and that's when you made breakfast. But you already opened the door for the friendship shit.
No, but this is what I'm trying to get at. Is like it's very
like, oh, my friend is making me breakfast.
The way the whole dating spectrum is set up is very unfair towards men.
Nah, you're contradicting yourself because you said you said that you wanted more with her.
Right.
But then you say that on the second date, you noticed that she was throwing shades and she wasn't going to smash, so you went and smashed with the white girl.
On the
So
same day.
obviously,
On the same
you
day.
was looking for something.
No, I did
On
not say
the
that.
same day.
I did not say that. Because see, what I said was, but see, this is the thing. Still, at the end of the day, though, I still put my best foot forward. Towards that.
Yeah, but so that means on the second day, she should have smashed, is what you're saying.
But let me ask you a question. Because see, this is the thing, right? And this is always where it comes into question when it comes to the dating world between men and women. Where, for example, you and I go on a date, right?
Yeah, I can't smash.
And we go out for dinner, and the bell comes. You don't even look at it. You're like, no, he has it. Like, obviously, I cannot even, like, he has it. Like, what? What is that, Bill? How do you spell that? I don't know. Right? But somewhere, somehow, if I have any expectations of sex, I'm a terrible human being. I'm an asshole. I'm an ain't shit nuggle. But that double standard
There's
isn't
a
fair
difference between expectation and like going through it.
But see, this is the thing, though. This is the thing. Is we all pretend.
You couldn't even wait.
No, hold on. No, but see, this is the thing.
Couldn't even wait for day three.
No, but see, this is the thing, though.
Day three, like at least 1, 2, 3, you might have smashed. You might have smashed.
But see,
Third time. That's what I'm trying to show you.
But see, that is where it
charm.
becomes unfair, right? We go on a first date. I'm a gentleman. We are in the hotel. I don't try anything.
Nah, it's
right?
fair.
Hold on.
It's fair.
No.
You're.
I didn't give you enough
No
time
disrespect,
to
but you're
try.
being just
But
a
you know why,
little
though?
bit selfish.
No, hold on. You want me to
I
tell
can
you?
tell what kind of nigger you are. You probably get girls. You probably smash on the first date because if you're expecting it on the second
Yeah.
date just because you
that's
paid
not
for
it.
dinner and you made her
Just
breakfast
like
or
you
whatever
said,
the case.
he's a black man, tall, and he makes a little bit of money.
I'm sorry.
That's
So,
not it. Do you
I'm
want me to tell you?
sorry,
Do you want me to tell you why this is the way that it is? I'll give you an example. Okay, I was talking to my sisters the other day, right? And I walk into a conversation. I'm sipping my tea, walking by, and all the four of them are in the room doing like, "Oh my God, all men are dogs and assholes." I'm like, excuse me. Like, what did you just say? Like, let me go into this with you. Let me tell you why things are the way that they are. Let me tell you what the problem is here. The problem is women are trying to live and act as if you were still dependent on men, but you still want to be independent. Let me address this point. Let me actually get to it. The way that things are now did not just happen overnight. There was an evolution of how things happen. Why do men expect to have sex on the first date? Because that was never the fact for a long time. But let me tell you how it happened.
What?
There
It's
used
always
to be
been like that.
No, not all the time. There used to be a time where a man could not take a woman on a first date unless you shook his father's hand. You understand? As a man, in order for you to smash, you used to be required to have land.
True.
And be married.
Shit changed.
And be able to have everything to provide. But
You're
how
right.
How did
Shit
it change?
changed.
How did it change? Let me tell you when it changed, right? This is when it changed. Fast forward to 1945. World War II comes around. All men are dragged to war. Now suddenly women in mass numbers are being put into the workforce, right?
Yeah.
Now suddenly women are now able to provide for themselves. And they look around, they're like, we don't need these nuggles. To
make
be able
our
to
own
live.
money.
I'm an independent woman. I'm a boss lady. Right? Now men come back from war. Suddenly now women are fucking out of spite. Right? They're like, oh, now we are independent sexual being. We can fuck whoever we want. It's simple economics.
Yes,
Supply
but you
and
can't
demand.
put all women in that
Hold
category.
on. No. Hear me out. Let me address this point, and then you can go ahead and reply.
right.
Right? So now suddenly now there is this sexual evolution thing that happened. Women are like, you know what? We're no longer the object of man. We can fuck whoever we want when we want to. You don't tell us what to do.
We could fuck each other.
Okay, but see now that becomes simple economics.
But you're fucking with a certain group of women.
No.
That's the problem here.
I'm addressing a general point here, right? You may be out of the spectrum.
I'm not
but guess
talking
what?
about me personally.
No, I know you're not talking about you
I'm
personally.
talking about
But-
women
but-
in
but-
general.
You
but let me
do
tell you
have a
something.
point. You
No,
do
no,
have
no.
a point. We understand the
No,
evolution.
let me address this so you guys can actually have all the facts so you can actually reply to all the facts, right? So now suddenly this is what happens. It's simple economics, supply and demand. Now suddenly there's the supply of pussy, quote unquote, goes up and the demand goes down. For example, 10,000 years ago, the requirements to be a man, to be able to get a woman, your requirements was slay a wildebeest and feed your offspring. Now, if you ask a girl, what do you look for in a woman? You know what they say? A good sense of humor, a nice smile, but somebody who will listen to me. But you know what that does, though? It watered down the demand. So now men feel like we no longer have to go out of our way in order to get women. Now, instead of having land and a farm to provide for that woman, now all I need is a good sense of fucking humor.
Yeah, but
you understand what's going on?
You with all this knowledge, you should know how to get a girl like Hanna.
No. I understand that. But I'm not immune.
What happened?
I'm not immune. But see, this is the thing. I may understand it, but I'm not immune to evolution. I'm not immune to evolution. Those things still do happen. So now what happens in this case? What happens in this case now, you live in a world where literally laws and rules are geared towards women. Do you know why it's a women's world now? Because women vote at a much higher rate than men do. That's why divorce laws, for example, are 10,000 times geared towards women, because these politicians that need your vote are going to gear the laws towards what you want. You understand? And that's why we live in a world that we do. Now, when you have women now being like, if I go on a date with a man and doesn't pay the bill, fuck him. What does that mean? If you're going on a date and I pay for the bill, I am showcasing myself as a provider. Right? So if I live out to my part, you should be able to live out to yours.
To you're fucking with the wrong women.
No, that's a way to put it, what you said. But we're in 2018 now. Like, come on now.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. Now, because humans have this thing where suddenly, because we have iPads and thumbs and fucking technology, we think we're special. At the end of the day, all of us right now, pretending like we know what the fuck we're doing, we're just primates spinning through space at 1,200 miles an hour. That's all we are, right?
That's a fact.
So when you lose sight of that and you think that you're special, you live in this world where there's all this obscurantism where you do not understand really what's going on.
So
that's why people live...
So does this all excuse why you treated Hanna the way you did?
No. But see, you're thinking that I treated Hanna wrong.
I know you did.
But see, this is the thing. I could not have done any better, because that's the world that we live in. Again,
don't blame evolution and
that's where you got it twisted
for your actions right now.
That's where you got it twisted.
It's
like if I was gonna say right now, because where the world is going right now, I'm just fucking for money, or I'm just doing this. Nah.
I'll give you an example.
The world is ending. I just want some
They have a lot of knowledge.
Let me give you a female example.
You're doing it backwards.
No, let me give you a female example.
You're doing it backwards.
She's saying life is short. Let's fuck.
No. Hear this out. A year and a half ago, I'm on a date with a girl, right? And we're talking, and she's like, at the end of the day, I just kind of like want a man that can take care of me, and I want to give him a good home. I want to raise his kids. I want to do this and all that. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Wait a minute. Let me actually test how convinced of your beliefs that you actually are. So I'm like, hey, honestly, to me personally, I'm more attracted to men. To women. Pause. Hold on.
Are you trying to come out on the Hanna Cake
Show? Exclusive.
I'm gonna let you guys have that one. So we can carry on, right?
All right, do it.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm attracted to women who got their own, who are actually going after their dreams and so on and so forth. Immediately, her language completely changes, right? She's like, you know what? At the end of the day, I kind of like want to be with a man. I can help him build his business and so on and so forth. But see, this is where the change happened. We live in a world now where in 1950, if you walked up to another woman and you're like, you know what? I'm a boss, bitch. I don't need anything. I'm a queen. They will look at you like a dog looking at a spoon. Mm-hmm. They'll be like, what the hell is wrong with you? What do you mean you don't need a man? Now, we live in a world where if as a woman, you tell another woman that you want to depend on a man, you looked at as weak. Mm-hmm. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now, as a woman, you have to deal with 500 years of evolution all the way to 2015, 16, when both bitches started coming around. Now you dealing with these conflicting emotions, where there's a big side of you that says, hey, look for a provider, look for a man that can give you everything, but you also got to be a boss bitch. Now, when you have conflicting emotions, nothing works out. That's when people find themselves in these positions where they're like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on with my life.
Girls want to be boss bitch and don't want to spend their own money. That's all. That's all.
But see, let's address the fact for what they are, because unless
we want to have more money by spending your money.
No, but see, if we keep living in this world where we pretend like things are not what they are, nothing will ever work. That's why 52% of all marriages end in divorce.
That's why you gotta find yourself a good woman.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of them out there. You know, you just don't fuck another girl on the same fucking date. Like, damn. Mazel
tov. Okay.
That's so simple. Like, wait 24 hours. Like,
right? Yeah. Hannah's a good woman. You fucked up. It's like you really fucked up, bruh.
It is what it is, but you know.
And my word of advice to you is just a little bit of patience, because I've been in a situation like that before. You know. Mm-hmm. There was a guy there, he tried to sweep me off my feet, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I wasn't quick enough. Like, he noticed he was a little impatient. He's noticed that I wasn't going to smash that night. Mm-hmm. He ended up going to talk to the next catty and smashing. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm done with this guy. Yeah. Next day, he tries to call me. I'm like, yo, are you dumb? Mm-hmm. Like,
but see, that's
it's
where the
all
problem
about
comes
patience.
In. You look at him as... You know, him either being inferior or being not understanding.
No, I'm sorry. I don't look at him like that at all. I was just, guys, I just met him. You spent 2 days with this girl. I just met him, and I'm trying to see what he's about. We go out, blah, blah, blah. He's trying to smash. I'm like, whoa, like, I just met you. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't having it, so he went and smashed the next girl. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's totally cool, but that's not what I'm about.
But like, let me ask you a question. Do you empathize? Not understand. Do you empathize?
I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him or anything.
No, you're not mad, but
obviously
you empathize?
I do empathize, because he's not looking for a girl. He's looking to smash. So if she empathizes with you, it's that you were looking to smash. You weren't looking for a girl.
No, look. You guys are talking for me. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, you told me you were on a date. Technically, we were on a date. And you brought a girl that you smashed.
Okay.
I smashed that same night we were together.
See,
so
let me ask you a question.
You can smash whoever you want. I don't need to know that, and I don't need to chill with the girl that you smashed.
No, but like, was I acting close to her? Was I acting close to her, or did I seem like I was disrespecting you during the time that we were hanging out?
That doesn't matter.
Right?
That doesn't matter. But you need to understand the big picture.
We all had fun.
You brought this girl on a date. You noticed that she wasn't going to smash. She was giving you a little attitude. Why? Because she knew already that you already smashed that white girl, and maybe you were giving her some kind of attention that
you should not tell your date that you smashed the girl that you're
so
telling.
That's why. But you have to listen too. That's why she did her own thing, and you didn't end up hooking up with her, and you ended up, on top of that, you ended up hooking up with the white girl that night. So you need to understand what you did and admit to what you did.
Oh, no, I do. But see, this is the thing. Let me tell you why I told her.
Don't try and fight it.
I'm not fighting it at all.
I'm sorry.
Okay, this episode is not gang on Roby here. This is not gang on Roby here.
Sorry.
Anessa, no, we're chilling here.
No, guys.
We had a good time.
These type of conversations are the conversations that change the narrative. These are important conversations to be had. Because these have to be had. Well, as men and women, we can honestly speak to each other as to what is going on, so we can actually fix the problems, right? Because we live in this world where there is all these status quos that are put into place, and we're all obligated to follow through to them, but nobody knows why they're actually doing it. And until we figure that out, it's going to be the same vicious circle.
But you can't have that conversation on that second date.
Sorry?
You can't have that communication. You were very open. There's certain things you don't say on the second date, right? Mm-hmm. Or do. Mm-hmm. Like what was the problem was we were chilling with this girl that you invited on our second date.
Was it second or third?
It was the second
Even
date.
if it was the third, it doesn't matter.
No,
but whatever.
We met online.
It was
we don't know each other that much. Mm-hmm. When you meet someone online, you're trying to get to know them. So first date, second date, it's kind of like new. Mm-hmm. But with the second date, you already had like someone with us. Mm-hmm. And that same someone, you told me that you guys had a thing. Mm-hmm. And you told me the next day that you got smashed that night. Mm-hmm. So you can't tell your date that you barely know, that you're trying to get to know and you like, that you smashed a girl that we were both chilling with. At the same time, on the second day.
That is where women have these very conflicting needs.
You need to let go of the women and the this and the that.
No, hold on. Let me
if it was 3 months later or 2 weeks later,
you need to deal with this situation front.
But let me tell you why I told you.
Because all this,
let me tell you why I told you.
Like I'm chilling, me, you, my homeboy, and me and my homeboy used to fuck, and then I'm like, I'm not trying to fuck you, I'm fucking him.
Let me tell you why I told you. Because a long time ago, like about 3 years ago, I found Buddhism, right? And it's true. It sounds fucking weird.
Man's is killing me.
No. But like this is the thing that you learn when you approach Buddhism. Live your truth so nobody can hold it against you.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why I was extremely upfront about it right off the bat, because I don't want it to come back 2 years down the road when you and I are now on
But
this
why did it
plane.
Happen is the first question.
And let me tell you why it happened.
What were you looking for with Hanna? Be honest.
No, I'll tell you the truth. I will tell you the truth, right? So
I feel like we're in court right now.
No. It's okay.
You were
these are important conversations to be able to be had.
Enough to tell me that.
Let me tell you something.
We were
these
friends.
are important conversations to be had. Because see, to me, I'm one of those people who are like, hey, listen, I can no longer pretend to be something that I'm not, because if I pretend, then later on down the road, everything is gonna fall apart.
Right.
So I want you to see this. So this is what I want. This is what I wanted.
So what
her
were
to
you
see.
looking with?
Because see, this is the thing. The girl when she came in the picture at first, it was her calling me at the airport, being like, hey, the person that was supposed to stay with flopped. Here I am. Can I stay with you? Fantastic.
Now I'm starting to question that story.
No. Hear me out. No. It's true. It's true. Like you were there. She told
I'm starting to question
even
that
the girl told her
story
this.
as well.
No. Even the girl told her this.
That's
Right.
true.
Now this is what happens. Right. If I wanted to sleep with a girl and still be able to finesse Hanna, I could have been like, hey, listen, the show is canceled. Right. I could have hung out with homegirl, did my thing. The next day she comes over. She has no idea what the hell is going on. Boom, I handle my business.
That would have been better.
No, but I could have done that.
Yeah,
right?
you could have done that, and maybe the next day you would have spoke to Hanna and it would have been cool.
But see, this is the thing though. I don't want to lie to her. Because I invited homegirl and I invited Hanna at the same time because I knew who I was chilling with. Homegirl knows what the situation was. She had been living in Vancouver for 3-4 years. We hadn't seen each other for a year or two. So it wasn't like that, right? But see, this is what happened. All the way through the night, right? Due to communication issues, obviously Hanna is not very happy about the fact that this is happening. She felt slightly disrespected, which I understand. I would be too.
I would not that vocal about it.
You weren't. No, you weren't.
I was because bitter Betty. I wasn't bitter or anything.
You never even mentioned it the 10,000 times after when we chilled.
Yeah.
Right? So you never even mentioned it.
No.
Right?
Because she already had her mind set up. This man is friend zone. Done and done.
He felt like he was comfortable enough to communicate that he smashed the girl that we were chilling with, so and he smashed again. It's like,
but you know why?
So
though?
we homies at this point. We homies.
But you know why?
Though? We homies.
But you know why?
Hold it down.
You know why? You know why? It's because I actually liked you.
Yeah.
Because I know how these things work.
Yeah. Right? But if you like someone,
as a friend,
if you like someone and you're dating someone, because you were dating her, you guys went on 2 dates.
It's double standard because I can't.
You're not gonna smash the first girl that shows up in your bed, guy. Like, if you liked her, you would have respected her enough to be like, you know what, this girl, this white girl needs my help. I'll help her. I'll tell her, you know what, I'm actually dating someone. Sorry.
But see, if you actually believe that's the truth, you live in an unreal world. Because let me tell you what the real world is with men. Men are only as faithful as their options. If you don't believe anything other than that, you're wrong.
But that's you.
You're wrong.
That's you.
No, it's not just me. It's all men. Trust me when I tell you this. If you believe this, your life will be much easier.
Right, Chris?
I guarantee you this. Men are only as faithful as their options. That's the end of the movie. I see you. I can address that. I actually had a talk.
I'll give it to you. I guess that's your type of man.
No, it's not my type of man.
I believe in men. I believe in men. I believe there's a lot of good men out there.
Then you will constantly be disappointed. You're gonna live a life of constant disappointment.
I'm not to disappoint you, but you sometimes live in la la land.
It is the truth.
Ain't shit.
But
you know what I mean?
But
I
don't
most
see
niggas.
like that.
No, but see, this is the thing. See, that's where the problem comes in.
There's a lot of niggas that are fuck boys. There's a lot of niggas that fuck around.
But see, that's where the problem comes in.
But there is a lot of good men out there. I'm sorry.
Do you agree that what he did was a fuckboy move?
No.
That's a fuckboy move. And I don't fuck with fuckboys.
And that is where and that
I
is
don't
where the,
fuck with
and that is
fuckboys.
where the problem comes in. It's because when we use words like fuckboys and ain't shit nigga,
I said fuckboy move.
No, hold on. We are actually ignoring what the true problem is.
And when you use words as bitches and hoes, it's the same thing.
I never. Did you hear me?
Because if I would have smashed his homie, it would have been a different story.
Let me tell you why.
And I'm not calling you a fuckboy. I'm saying that was a fuckboy move.
Let me tell you why men are the way that they are. Okay, monogamy itself as a concept is anti-evolution.
That's
Hold on. Let me explain.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something?
Right.
That's for you.
No, hold on. Let me explain it.
You can speak for yourself and all the men that are like you. You can speak for all of those niggas. You can speak for all those niggas.
I hear you.
But I know that there is good men out there.
Let me explain to you where my thinking comes from. It's not a question of good or bad man. It's not a question of good or bad men. Let me tell you how this thing was set up. 10,000 years ago.
It's about righteous men. There's a lot of righteous men out there. Let me tell you that.
10,000 years ago.
I will address the righteous men. I will address the faithful men too. You're right. They are there. But they are there for reasons I feel like are beyond your grasp. Because you think they're faithful for the wrong reasons. I will tell you why men are faithful, why some of them are faithful. They are faithful men, you're right. But it's not because of anything other than self-interest. And I will explain that. Okay? 10,000 years ago, right, when the first Homo sapiens started walking. No, hold on. Let me address this. This is actually important conversations to be able to be had. And I'm glad that I'm having it with you guys because you guys are smart and I actually care about your opinion. Of course. So I actually want to address this, right? Yeah. 10,000 years ago, when the first Homo sapiens started walking around, as people were something called a polygynous society. Meaning that one man could have multiple wives.
Yes, hold on.
But let me finish. Sister,
irrelevant.
Hold on.
Irrelevant. I can tell you why.
Let me address this, and then you can go ahead and actually address me based on all the facts that I've given you. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Hear me out. Okay?
You're losing.
Can I get a refill? Because I'm kind of. Yeah. I'm kind of tripping over here.
Right.
I need a refill.
So we're almost at 1 hour. I just want to let you know.
Okay. So 10,000 years ago.
Over my damn show. Right? Thank you very much.
So 10,000 years ago, when the first Homo sapiens started walking the face of this earth, we were a polygynous society because it was evolutionarily beneficial for even women to be able to do that because at that time
there was not enough niggas.
No, hold on. It was not a question of enough niggas. There was
you're telling me that
laws.
Women were allowed to sleep with multiple men.
No. Even women wanted to. It was much more advantageous, evolutionarily speaking, to be the fifth wife to a strong man than to be the only wife to a weaker man. Because as a man, your requirements were much higher. People were not going to Loblaws to get fucking groceries. You understand? You had to literally kill a fucking wildebeest in order to be able to feed your family and your seed. Yeah. Right? It was not until 2,000 years ago, with the evolution of the actual Christian church in Europe, that monogamy came around. But monogamy did not come around because people were like, oh my God, everybody should have one wife. No, this is when it became a problem. It became a problem when women were marrying stronger men and weaker men were moving. No, hold on, hear me out. Weaker men were moving out of their villages to go find wives elsewhere. Suddenly the rich are like, whoa, that's a problem. There is not enough people to pay taxes or fight the wars. So what do? They created this system where there was one man and one wife, and they packaged it into this nice little package that said, Jesus wants you to do this. You see what I'm saying? So now suddenly you have 10,000 years of evolution. And let me tell you something. Women are more sexually selective than men for one reason and one reason only. The return on investment on sex is much more advantageous towards men than it is towards women. As a man, if I go out there and I have sex with 100 women over the course of a year, there is a chance I would have 100 babies. If you go out there tomorrow and you have sex with 100 men over the course of the same year, you can only have one baby. Already in the numbers, that's already done for. But see, this is the most important reason. Evolution has geared you to be more sexually selective because women carry the seed. See, there was a time where giving birth, 60% of women died in childbirth. There is nothing that you do today that there is a 60% chance that you will die doing it. You understand? Like back in the days, there was no going to Sunnybrook. You will hold on to a fucking tree and squeeze that baby out and watch out for a fucking dinosaur running up on you just to make sure that you're giving birth. So even if you look in species where the male actually carries the seed, like seahorses, seahorse males are more sexually selective than the females, because for me, all that is required in order to give birth is a teaspoon worth of fucking sperm. For you is 9 months of fucking pregnancy plus labor. So therefore, evolution has conditioned you to be more sexually selective.
I don't have a rebuttal because
that's
one
one theory in life. Yeah, that's one theory in life. That's your point of view in life.
He's not with the arguments. He has to go that far so he can lose us, so we can't even rebuttal.
Right?
No, I'm not losing you guys. Do you guys
we're talking about present. We're talking about right now. You talk about 10,000 years ago, and then like so on and so forth.
But see, this is the thing. You don't realize
my attention span does not go that fucking
long. And that's what I was trying to get at.
There's men that don't believe. There's men that don't believe in monogamy.
You want me to tell you who are the men that are faithful? You know how men become faithful? I'll tell you one thing.
Please.
Men become
tell him
faithful.
To DM me.
Okay, in the first year, you guys, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Shit. So first year of first year of university in psychology class, they teach you something called the Maslow's pyramid of needs.
Yes.
Okay. So the Maslow's pyramid of needs initiates what are the needs of a human being. So at the bottom of the pyramid, those are the most important needs. At the top, those are the more less important, but they're still very important. Okay.
Yeah, like on the top, this water, like
so at the bottom of the pyramid is things like food and security. Right?
At the bottom.
So you cannot go after your goals of becoming rich unless you have food in your stomach.
Who says
right?
who made up these laws? What are these laws?
No, think about it.
These laws are from who?
No, it applies to everybody. Let me ask you.
But what is this? Who made these laws? Your university?
No, it's not my university. Think about it this way.
I want to understand where these laws come from.
Let me ask you a question. Would you be here doing this podcast if you're homeless? If you had nowhere to live, if you had to make sure that you have food,
and I was invited, sure, why not?
No, but I'm not the reason why you showed up,
about your vital needs,
like your vital needs are already met. You have clothes on your back, you have a roof over your head. That's why you can afford to be able to sit here.
Okay,
right? Somebody who does not have the luxury of being able to have what you already have cannot be here. So it's always about levels, right? So for example, at the bottom is food and shelter. On top of that is security. If you are not secure where you are, if you know somebody was coming to kill you, you're not gonna be here this comfortable arguing with my dumb ass, right?
Right.
Okay.
And then on top of that is recognition. Recognition means like, you want to feel like your life matters. And on top of that, which is the top of the pyramid, is something called self-actualization. Becoming
I'm trying to understand,
you think you are.
I'm trying to understand why
let me
there's
tell you
some
why.
men that are right.
Okay, so when your woman in your life is literally the part of your life that will self-actualize you, it's worth any woman in the world. That is when a man is truly faithful.
But I believe that every man deserves that, but they don't seek that. That's why they be cheating on their bitches. Anyway, I think
Beyonce got cheated on. I'm done. Okay, we had 57. With that 10,
it was real nice to meet you, fam.
This was the Roby Hollywood show.
We could do a part 2.
This was the Roby Hollywood show.
We should do at least 3 podcasts at this point.
We need a part 2.
Oh, man.
Part 2 coming through. So let's wrap this shit up.
Moral of the story, stay away from Tinder.
Wow. See, my girlfriend is going to see this and she's going to be like, what the fuck, the whole time that you talked about it.
We didn't even get to like...
Oh my God. Like with everything that is
going on in the news.
And the man has a girl.
No, I do. But I'm not blind to life, right? Like
you're living a different life, my friend.
Anyways, guys, this was an interesting episode.
Wow.
You must say. This Hanna Cakes show. Follow me at this Hanna Cakes. No, it's Hanna Cakes. Sorry. And you can listen to this episode on iTunes and SoundCloud. The ignorance is free. You don't know. The Hanna Cakes show #. And you can also check the visuals too if you want to see us on YouTube. The ignorance is free with a Z. You already know.
With a Z.
And you also follow
at Roby Hollywood.
This philosopher over there, Dr. Roby Hollywood.
I just have controversial views.
Okay, Robert.
I'm the Canadian Kanye.
And you can follow me. It's SK on Instagram with a Z. It's SK. Holla.
All right. Share, like, comment. You already know. We out here.